Suez Canal, the artificial waterway that connects Asia and Europe, finally has been freed after the container ship Evergiven blocked it for nearly a week. So how did they do it? How much did it cost us, and what are the steps we are taking to make sure that it doesn't happen again? Welcome back to Thought Control. And if you haven't subscribed our channel till now, then you must subscribe. And please press the bell icon as well. So how the Evergiven freed? With what did they do it? Well, they used conventional earth-moving equipments on the shore, while using powerful tugboats, large capacity dredgers, and a king tide underwater. Don't worry. I will explain each of these things. Dredgers are ships equipped with machines to remove underwater sand and sediments. It can use bucket-like devices or vacuum up the sand through hydraulic pumps. Two dredgers, the 10th of Ramadan and the Mashhour, played an important role in refloating the container ship. The Mashhour is the largest and most powerful cutter suction dredger in the world. It has previously also been used to widen and deepen section of the Suez Canal in 2014, but not enough apparently. Anyway, 30,000 tons of sand was removed by the crew in total. That is enough to fill about a dozen of Olympic-sized swimming pools. 6 days of around-the-clock digging is what allowed the tugboats to push and pull the vessel into the center of waterway. Hey, what did you say? What are tugboats? Oh, right, my bad. Tugboats are these really powerful, specialized craft whose usual work is to help ship parks in ports so they can push ships, pull them, or rotate them through either direct contact or with heavy cables called tow lines. About 14 tugboats of different sizes were used to free the Evergiven. The stern of the ship was the first thing that was freed, then the bow was removed. A person involved in the effort said that a large rock formation in the side of the canal had been jamming the bow in a place. Of course, it was broken up, helping to free the Evergiven. But the most critical difference was made by high tides. So essentially, the workers were helped by a full moon, resulting in a king tide that provided condition to refloat the ship. As we know, the full moon offers spring tides which are higher and lower than average. Spring high tides resulted in adding a few inches of water inside the canal, and in return, the final freedom of Evergiven as tugboats honked their horns in celebration. Once the ship was stabilized, it was towed towards the Great Bitter Lake for inspection. It is wide body of water midway through the canal. Oh, and let's not forget to talk about the people that actually did it. SMIT Suez BV, a legendary Dutch firm whose employees fly from one shipping incident to the next, many a times boarding vessel during the violent storms, along with Japan's Nippon Suez Corporation, were the ones that led the operation to its successful completion. There are more than 300 ships waiting around the canal right now. So despite the canal being unblocked and reopened, it could still take around 7 to 10 days for the build-up to get cleared up. And of course, even more ships are on their way to the canal, around 130 at this moment. So some of world's largest companies have already made the decision to take a different route, adding tens and thousands of dollars in cost. The canal may be cleared, but its economic effects will take months to resolve. Suez Canal is one of the world's busiest shipping channel for trade linking east to west. The blockage roughly cost 12% of global trade, resulting in a loss of trade valued at over 9.6 billion per day. That is 400 million worth of trade per hour or 6.7 million per minute. Since the Evergiven had blocked the canal for 6 days, the total loss is estimated to be around $54 billion. But the thing is that these numbers only talk about cargo shipments that were delayed. Even the canal's revenue alone was taking a hit of 14 million to 15 million per day. The actual economic damage suffered by the world could be much higher, as prices of important commodities like crude oil and gas also rise in some places because of the fear that the blockage may continue for weeks. Shipping charges also increased sharply since Tuesday. Many cargoes were forced to take the longer route. The Suez Canal blockage did not only affect the global shipping industry, it hit countless businesses from domestic retailers to supermarkets or even manufacturers. Some companies will have to pay to order more goods and have them sent over by air, which cost at least 3 times more. Because of these things, the true damage and cost of the blockage is actually difficult to evaluate. And while it may not have lasting effects, experts feel that it could inflate prices of some goods for a short period. In the end, it took 6 days and 7 hours to undo the event that exposed vulnerability of global trade. And it may take longer to figure out how not to let it happen again. As officials try to understand more about the situation, there will be questions regarding whether evergiven should have even journeyed through the gust of winds that exceeded the speed of 40 miles per hour. But then the canal has had plenty of winds and bad weather in the past, where tankers have faced much worse without getting stuck. There have also been reports that ship was traveling 5 knots faster than permitted in the canal, but it turns out that speeding is actually quite a general technique used to control a vessel better during a storm. The officials are also looking into if they need new tugboats with better capabilities. But at the core of this problem is the constantly increasing size of container vessels. Container vessels have nearly doubled in size in the past decade. And even while key routes like the Suez Canal have been widened over the years to accommodate these massive vessels, the blockage has highlighted a major risk faced by the shipping industry and the global economy both. And as more and more ships transit choke points like the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, Strait of Hormuz and Malacca Strait, etc., such occurrence could become more common as ships get bigger and waterways become more congested. So we will need to find better way. But then, who doesn't love a challenge? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any feedback, please let us know in the comment section below. And do not forget to press the bell icon. Thank you. Bye bye. Hasta la vista.